Hey guys, Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today I wanted to take you for a walk around a Maxx-d TOX bumper pull power tilt deckover trailer. This unit's equipped with tandem 8,000 pound axle upgrade, so it's a 16K GVW, and it's 22 foot in length. A lot of manufacturers will go longer than 22, Maxx-d will as well, but anything longer than 22 is a fixed deck up front, typically not overly common. So most of the TOXs are going to be 22. If you want a 26, we could do a 22 tilt and then a 4 up front. Again, not wildly common. They also offer the TSX, which is a full deck power tilt up to 30 foot length. Different trailer, not near as common as the TOX shown here. Not a lot of options, but we do have a few on this. I'll try to show them to you as we take a walk around the trailer. This is stickered at $16,000. You can also get these at $17,500 if you would like. But at the end of the day, $17,500 is just really counting tongue weight in, which you're going to get anyway. Typically 15% tongue weight via the ball to the truck side. So we'll start out up front. Since I did talk about GVWs or whatnot, 11250 is what this is showing at 16,000 pounds. What that's saying is this weighs 4750 empty. I would contend I think this weighs more than 4750, and I'll get to that in a minute. But again, 4750, they're showing 11250 trailer side payload. Doesn't count the roughly 2,000 pound you're putting to the truck. We'll say for quick math 13,000 pound available payload. So up front, we've got a 2 5/16 inch Demco easy latch coupler that automatically closes as you lower it down on the truck. This has the 12K jack. If you're not familiar, you've got a top wind crank that's going to adjust the outer leg, and then you've got the pull pin there that would adjust the inner leg. Makes it nice. No need to ever have to carry around a wood block or similar. Of course, it's got a 7-pin plug. This one's nice. It's got the dual prong connection. If you shove it in and bend one a little bit, you've got dual connections on that. This also has the zip breakaway cable. You don't see that very often in our industry as an OEM. Typically that'd be an aftermarket type accessory. So a nice little, I'll say, premium detail they put on them. It is a Maxx-d. Been in business since 1999. Got a nice gusset plate where your I-beam tongue comes out. This is an extended tongue. Typically, I'd say in the industry, you're going to see maybe a 5-foot tongue. This is probably more like 5.5, maybe 6. If you want to pull it behind a dump truck or similar with maybe some overhang, you've got plenty of maneuverability. Now, one nice part about this with that little bit longer tongue would be you've got your toolbox. Then one of the options we've added would be the mesh chain tray, which is nice. You got a lot of storage there. Spare tire mount as well up in the A-frame. Couple neat things on Maxx on these. Well, one, I'll show you the troubleshooting tips. That's there. Of course, you can always give us a shout if you have any questions or whatnot. Gas shock on the toolbox. Interstate deep cycle battery. It's a group 24. KTI hydraulic pump. One thing in the box, this has the manual relief valve. So if you are up, we'll show you a little demonstration. Put it up. This guy here would basically be a manual, I'll say, gravity down, and all it's going to do basically is open both coils. It's a little bit different than what we've had in the past in the industry, but honestly, with this having a gravity down button, there would be no real purpose to use this guy. But what it's going to do, it's going to activate basically as a gravity down. It's going to let that bed down. It's going slow, but it is going. So basically all it's doing is open up both sides. So if you had a low battery situation, you could basically crack that. It's not really on many dumps. And again, being that this has a power up, power down, and the gravity down button, this gravity down is going to effectively do the same thing as that guy there. Also in the toolbox, little details, grommeted wiring. You've got a no-code charger. Now this is nice. This is a 5-amp charger, not a 1 or a 2. Wireless remote, believe it or not, standard equipment. So it's also got button in the box. And then there is your wireless. I've actually got it in my pocket here as well. Now, if you do option a hydraulic jack, that would also be on this. It'd be a 4-button remote at that point in time. But again, this is all standard equipment. Wireless remote, power up, power down, gravity down. So they're building a lot of, I'll say, standards in that aren't on a lot of trailers. This is a metallic gray as well, not wet black. You can do either one. We like the gray, think it's pretty sharp. Going down the side of the trailer, one thing that used to be on these years ago, but now most don't, is manual safety. So this is hydraulically locked down, but they still put the safety on there. So if you do buy one of these, typically we leave them unlatched on the lot, just because some folks don't know they're there and they get broke before the trailer ever gets used, because this hoist will break that off if you don't know it's there. Dual side steps are on both sides, not just this driver's side. It's serrated. Nicely done. You've got your rub rail, stake pocket, and D-rings. Couple nice features on these. 4-inch rings, not 3. And you've got 1/4-inch rub rail. A lot of times you'll see 3/16 1/4-inch rail on that. It's also a 6-inch side frame. Sometimes you see a 5-inch, a little bit heavier. And then you've also got markers going down the sides. I'll say every probably 4 foot. So you got plenty of tie downs. You've also got chain spools as well. So you got 4 different methods of securement going down the side. We did add a winch plate to this. That is not a standard. Nicely done. It's fully prepped, ready to go. Even a slot for your wires to go down through. It makes it easy to put a winch on. One of the things I'm going to show you, I'm going to lift this up in a sec. This is unique. I don't know any other brand doing this in our industry. Somebody may, but I have yet to see it, and I'm pretty familiar with most of the brands in the market. This is a pierced I-beam frame. Pierced I-beam is nothing new on regular Deckovers, but I've never seen it on a power tilt trailer. If you see that I-beam there, generally it means it's going to be lower to the ground, but in this case also it's going to be, I'll say, stronger. I'll show you underneath the trailer. Little details on the tread plate over the fender wells. Notice it's bent for a nicer, cleaner finish. With the 8K axles, couple things. Standard equipment would only be a 235 16-14 ply. This actually has a 17.5, which is typically a 16 ply. These are 18, and then that's also going to get you to a solid wheel 17.5. So a lot heavier rubber than required. These actually are the same tires that typically would be on a 10K super single. They're rated to 20,000 pound a set, even though this is only 16,000 pound of running gear. So you got plenty of tires on this. Also on 8K axles, this is going to have a true 8K. So it's going to be a 3 3/8 inch drum instead of a hybrid 2.5 inch 8K. Same brake that's going to be on your 10K trailers is on this 8K. You've got your newer Valcrum caps, which are nice. They're aluminum, not the old plastic style. This also runs the heavier 5/8 studs with your bigger nuts. I want to show you something at the back that's kind of unique. Most brands like this have about 3 foot of tread plate. What I find to be unique is underneath you've got your ICC light bar, and these are clear lens LEDs. I like that. Extra set of stop turn tails on this on either side. But a couple things back here I like. I just think they do a little better. One, the wiring's ran back in conduit, which is nice. 2, the license plate you can actually see. Most brands you cannot. It's about 6 to 7 foot up on the driver's side. So kudos to them for actually doing that. Like I said, haven't seen any brand that we've sold or I'm familiar with do that. There may be some out there, but nicely done. Also, you don't normally see a gusset on the ICC bar. It's just little details like this that we see Maxx taking the time to do that just you don't normally see. So good for them. Like I said, ICC light bar, most of the industry do it, just not the plate and the wiring and reinforcement. It does come to a knife edge tail too. A lot of times in the industry you'll get about a 2-inch thick. They've actually taken the time to taper it all the way to like a 5/16. Let's go ahead and tilt the trailer up. I think I might have timed it out. I think now I turned it off here. Let's see. Well, there we go. So I got it live, basically. The power button in the upper left. wasn't agreeing with me, but these do time out. Typically, a lot of times after like 15 minutes, they'll time out on your wireless. They do that so somebody doesn't jump in their truck after they get done strapping down and the trailer starts going up when they bump it in their pocket. So this is what I find to be pretty neat in this trailer. First of all, I'll point out this is a 10-inch I-beam. That is an upgrade. Typically, we do that on a 8,000-pound axle. We do an 8-inch beam on the 7,000-pound axle. But what's cool is that main beam mimics the bed frame. So typically in the industry, on a 7K axle, you're going to see a range, but typically it's going to be a 4-inch channel. Some will use a 4-inch tube. Occasionally, I'll see a 6-inch channel. I don't know anybody that's doing a 10-inch I-beam pierced beam bed frame. It's pretty crazy. So this is also why I don't think this trailer weighs 4,750, but that's what the math works out to on the sticker. So again, typically a 7,000-pound axle, 22 foot's probably going to weigh 45. A heavy one's maybe 5. I would say the way this is built, this is probably a 5,300-pound trailer if I had to guess. But anyway, 10-inch pierced I-beam bed frame, pretty crazy. Pierced is what I meant. Basically, you're going to laser these out, and the cross member, instead of sitting above the beam, is going to go through the beam. Wood's going to sit flush with the top. In a normal Deckover, it's going to save you deck height, and in this setup, it's going to make it stronger. These are American-made cylinders. I'll point out they're also a little bit beefier cylinders than what we sometimes see, and then even the mounts on these I find to be heavier than what we often see in the industry. So again, point that out. Reinforcement going back to the I-beam frame. Safety prop here if you want to do any maintenance or whatnot. Typical slipper spring suspension, nothing real different other than it does have a greased wet bolt kit. You don't always get that. In fact, I'd say most times you don't. So again, nice heavy duty header. You've got your safety latch. You've got your reinforcement. This also you don't always get. You got a nice heavy header going across the front tying this in. So you've actually got a piece of fabricated that gives it a nice finish look. And that's all a lot of them actually do. But this actually, behind that fabricated header, actually has got box tube going across tying everything together. So again, very well put together unit. It's a shame they don't currently build this in a full deck 24, 26, because I think it would be pretty common. These are only available in 22, which does happen to be a pretty common size for Deckover tilts in the industry. So this is available in a gooseneck, so we can go bumper or goose. And again, it is available in a 24 and 6. Just again, it's going to be a split deck, not a full deck tilt currently. Probably the most common option if you're looking for options besides what's on this would be the hydraulic jack. And it is available in different colors. One thing in the industry we see too, some manufacturers slide axles a little bit forward. Maxx, they go forward a little bit, and you're about a 15-degree angle. Manufacturers that leave those axles back just a little bit farther end up at about a 17. We do get some customers that complain on the ones that leave them back. It's a little bit steeper angle. That extra 2 degrees makes it a little tough. That's why a lot of these are going to get a winch plate, because I'd say probably at least half of customers add a winch. And if you've got one of the brands with the axles farther back at that roughly 17-degree angle, you almost have to have a winch. If it's wet, if it's slick, icy, whatever, you're not going to get your stuff on. So again, if you have any questions on this, feel free to give us a shout, 717-220-4220, or you can visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com. Thanks for looking.